and then down on down, someone asked actually responds to the question, good question, infrastructure needs to be redesigned inclusively, thinking about the current and future trends of what physical spaces look like. Um, this is the essence of all placemaking. And yet governance has no tie to that understanding. And they're often a decade ahead of something, attempting to go by the book and go by the numbers, and has nothing to do with the engagement proposition.
Hmm.
So I think we have
But the
some,
engagement proposition is frightening because the engagement means that things are going to change and it's not
right.
static and new things are going to emerge. And how do you deal with this? How do you deal with it unless you design iteratively and continue to build on things as they come?
Well, this is kind of what took place in this moment. Okay, is that the recognition by the people who were engaged in this conversation that that was true, and that that was probably the most important thing to focus on. From the concept that they were attempting to develop. How do we impact our infrastructure when governance has no understanding of what it is exactly should be determined as it goes about making 10-year incremental changes, and spending billions of dollars on perhaps the wrong thing.
Mm.
And so it was very easy
And
then
by,
to
and by the time it's built, it's obsolete.
absolutely in today's world. Oh my God, 5 years from now, that's yesterday's misunderstanding.
Mm.
So
And we,
we get kind of left there, and we're kind of looking forward to the next opportunity that this represents. They're talking about all of Canada. They're not merely talking about a place. They're talking about how are we going to impact the governance in a dynamic fashion so it can be replicated.
What was this conversation, by the way? You didn't really introduce what it was that you guys.
well, I thought the flyer that I received
Oh,
had,
City Talk.
yeah, City Talk, and the one that I had was, it had Bruce Katz and Richard Florida on it, but this was different. So this, I
That's
really,
coming up. That's coming up in a week.
oh, okay,
Okay, this is the build up to the Bruce Katz discussion.
Okay.
okay,
And
got it.
here's an amazing thing. We cornered Bruce Katz in another conversation with Brookings, on the very same issue.
I should show a little piece. I should show your opening. Okay, carry on. I'm gonna find it and I'll put it in here. I'll show
Well,
you.
the point of all of this is imagination and creativity in that basic curiosity, which is alive and well in most of us, but should be alive and well in all of us. And it starts something as naturally as a first grader or a kindergartner or pre-education, and and yet by third grade it's gone. It's basically ruled out as being of any value because we already know what we're going to build you for, and you really don't have to be thinking. You just have to be able to be cognizant and carry on whatever position we might find you in. And that's gone now. That has disappeared from the face of the planet, and certainly from the U.S.
Well, on top of it, children have highly structured environments these days, and there's this fear of going outside like alone. You're not going to get what is that group, the Little Rascals, who get
Right,
into trouble, and helps them to figure out different ways to deal with different problems in the world, like
right.
which we find hysterical, but at the same time, like I don't feel that there's kids getting into those kind of problems anymore with the kind of hyperstructure that people have on kids.
So COVID has done us a favor. As much as it's been a damaging proposition, it has done us a favor because 30 or 40% of the kids are not going back to school.
They're in Pontiac or
Uh,
everywhere.
it, across the
Detroit,
country.
yeah.
It's much to do like COVID had the impact on remote work, and people are not going back, and so forth and so
Mm.
on. So what that does is draw on the cultural need that is hyper local. I'm seeing you, you're seeing me. We haven't seen each other before, and COVID forced us to see each other. Now what?
Right.
Right. So the shared environment now becomes something
Right.
of a focus to manifest the things that I need, the things that I enjoy, the things that I want to do, the people I want to meet, the kids I want to facilitate, etc. And there's a dynamic there that is huge. And even if we said it was only going to be 25%, if I told you 10 years ago that you'll be part of a 25% of changing the entirety of the population, you'd be going, that's something significant. And it's more than that. It's 30, it's 45, it's 50. If we think about the digital equation, it's more than that. So now we're talking about a number that's 50 or 60% of the population.
Yeah.
That's a huge shift